What's up, guys? Welcome back to It's Me Tinx Live, exclusively on Radio Andy, Channel 102. As always, this is our weekly time to talk to each other with a live Ask Me Anything, a very special AMA today. I have in the studio with me Allison, Brie, and Dave Franco. Woo! Woo! They are stars of their new movie Together, which is out everywhere July 30th, and I had the pleasure of watching it last week, and it's so good. It's so fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. It was so cool and so great. So before we get into the AMAs, we're going to talk about it a little bit. But if you want to ask Allison and Dave something for advice or, whatever, it's 844-305-ANDY. That's 844-305-2639. I can't wait to get into the AMAs. But first, let's talk about Together. I loved it, guys. What would you categorize? Would you categorize it as a horror movie? Or what are you calling it?
I think first and foremost, yeah.
But what are you calling it? You coined something that was like, the feel-good horror movie of the year.
That's a great way to put it. Because I love that it didn't take itself so seriously.
Totally.
That's my favorite thing about it. Like, I watch a lot of horror, and I feel like sometimes it's just like the movie will collapse under like the seriousness of like trying to make me scared.
Totally.
And the whole time I was like, oh, you're trying to make me laugh and you're trying to make me think, but I'm also scared.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I think that hardcore horror fans will love the movie. Its feet are planted in horror. There's some great jump scares.
Yes.
But then it's a little romantic. It's a little sexy. It's funny.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. There was many times that I burst out laughing, and I was like, oh, that's a good little break from like holding my blanket next to me, like, oh my God.
The tension release.
The tension release. And also like so many interesting themes that we talk about on this show, codependence obviously being like a core theme. Was there a moment where the movie, like working on the movie, filming it, like made you guys reflect on your own codependence or lack thereof?
Definitely. We went into the whole experience knowing this was either going to end in divorce or we would be more codependent than ever. And luckily it's the latter. But no, we've been together 13 and a half years. We work together constantly. And so we definitely have a healthy level of codependency. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, the movie is not necessarily saying that's a good or a bad thing. And we like to, we travel so much for work, and so we're apart from each other, which kind of forces us to take this time apart, which I think is good for our codependency.
It's true. I think shooting this did make us like take stock of our own codependence and go like, okay, it's here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's at an unhealthy level.
Yeah.
But like Dave said, we're sort of forced to spend months apart too, so that balances
It's good to miss each other too.
Yes, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
I really do believe this. Can you imagine having worked on this movie with anyone else, or was it just like, this is perfect for a couple?
Truly, every single day that we left the set, we would say, I can't imagine doing this with anyone else. And I can't imagine this movie being made with it not being a real couple.
There were days where we were literally attached with a prosthetic for, upwards of 10 hours. And so we were trying not to drink too much water to avoid frequent bathroom trips, but inevitably, one of us would have to go.
Of course.
And we would drag the other one with us. And, we've obviously seen each other go to the bathroom before, but we've never been doing it touching and looking into each other's eyes.
Not skin to skin peeing. That's a new one. That's a new level of intimacy. Yeah, the film was very physical. Like, I was so impressed with the physicality and like you guys contorting your bodies. And what was the hardest physical moment, or like what was the hardest physical thing that you each had to do during filming?
I feel like I'm sure it was different for both of us. I mean, Dave has a scene in the shower where he was slamming his body into the walls.
I'm fully naked. My character is unconscious, and I am throwing my limp body into these porcelain walls, and I can't brace myself because I'm unconscious, and so that really hurts. But there was some version of that almost every single day on this movie, and even though it was very painful, we were just so excited about the footage we were getting, and it felt like we were doing something that no one had really seen before, and so our excitement kind of superseded our pain.
I had a great contortionist double for some of the super bendy moments.
Those were crazy. I know.
Right, and she's just comfortable, an amazing dancer, doing that stuff, so that's so cool. I feel like you hate me saying this, but there was a day where we just had to be sopping wet all day and cold, and weirdly that ends up being the most uncomfortable.
For the record, I hate you saying that.
You hate me saying that.
I hate that.
We're in a fight now. No, I know. You were just saying, and I don't disagree that it sounds so actory. It's like we do so much physical stuff on this movie, and I'm like, there was one day I was cold.
Right.
No, being cold is really hard. Being wet and cold. No.
People coming in and spraying you down with cold water. It just sucks.
No, that sounds really, really difficult, honestly. What about work-life balance? Because I imagine when you're working on such a demanding movie all day, like, would you come home and then like talk about work more, or vice versa? If you were like on set or like walking to set, you'd be like, by the way, we need to buy cornflakes. Like, how did you like balance everything?
You know, I think the good thing about that was that we shot in Melbourne, Australia. So we were on location living like a faux life in Melbourne. So we didn't have to deal with normal, like if we were home dealing with the mail and the laundry and the garbage, like that real life stuff wasn't there. So we really did not separate it.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, we try to have that balance because we don't want every conversation we have for the rest of time to be about work. And she's
in life, it ebbs and flows. But during the course of this shoot, what were you going to say?
I was going to say you're much better at me than kind of turning it off and forcing boundaries.
I like to set boundaries.
We love a boundary. We love a boundary. Yes. Okay, guys, I have a little game for us to play. It's called Cute or Codependent. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to give you guys a scenario. You tell me if you think it's cute or codependent.
Great.
Okay, moving to another city for a long-term partner.
Cute.
Ooh, I think that's cute.
Okay. Moving.
I turn.
I had to process that.
If you're both, you guys are in love, that could be fun.
Totally. Moving to a city for a guy you just met 3 weeks ago.
Codependent.
Okay. Good to know. Asking for a friend myself. Giving up your personal career for your partner.
Codependent.
Splitting everything you eat when you go to a restaurant.
Ooh, that's straddling the line for me.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, what about this? What about the
Splitting
couples?
Everything. That's too much. Codependent.
That might be too much.
Especially, you know what? I'm a very slow eater. I have to eat like guarding my food. I don't like to share everything because I worry it's going to be gone.
Of course. Okay. What about the couples who hold hands across the table for the entire meal?
Oh, for the entire meal? No, for the entire meal for sure. I was going to say, admittedly,
we like to sit on the same side of the table.
Sure,
that's cute.
That happens.
That's cute. Yeah. That's cute. Sharing a toothbrush.
Oh, no.
Codependent no.
Okay, how about calling your partner every night before bed when the other is traveling?
Codependent.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
Really slower to answer.
No, because I was thinking we have our own thing that maybe is going to sound very codependent.
We do have a nighttime ritual, but actually I would say it's in lieu of something like that.
Exactly.
Because we both travel constantly for work and learned very quickly that trying to schedule that FaceTime or like
tough,
having to be on the phone.
One person's exhausted and it might lead to a fight, but what we do, and this is going to sound very cheesy, but for, we've been together over 13 years, and for all of that time, every single night that we've been apart, we essentially, when we're going to bed, instead of just saying like, sending a good night text, like, good night, I love you, we essentially write a love letter to each other, and
we call them GLLs. Good night, love letter.
And we try to mix it up. You try to think of something new that you love about the person.
Just
it could
like
be
a few paragraphs.
It could be a poem. It could be finding an old photo that just brought up some old memories. And what it does is it really makes you kind of sit there and think about the other person before you're going to bed.
Why am I grateful for this relationship? Yes. It's sweet. And it takes no time. There's not the tension of like, what are you doing? Get on the phone with me right now. It's just like, I love you. I'm thinking about you.
And sometimes you're so tired, but we have not missed a night. And I swear to God, it's part of the reason of what's kept us together.
I love that. I love that so much. That's a really good tip out there for our long distance couples. Like, hello, I love that. And it's nice because it is something a little bit different. Okay, what about sharing location? Do you guys share location with each other?
We don't.
I agree, by the way. I for the record, I have to say, I don't think you need to share location with your partner.
It honestly never even occurred to us.
Agreed. Okay, cute or codependent matching tattoos?
I think that could be cute, yeah.
People do it with their friends.
Yeah.
Okay. People do it with their moms.
Totally. What about matching outfits in public?
Well,
we're guilty of that, and it's not on purpose.
Not exactly matching, but you just notice over time.
Yeah,
we get dressed in totally separate areas, and then we will walk out to leave and both be like, your white shirt, black pants. I mean, like
today is the least coordinated we've been in a long time.
But you were almost going to wear that top, so
exactly.